let's get into it. Get ready for the #1 game show of the fall. It's a wacky, zany show with non-stop surprises. I'm going to teach you guys how to do an announcer sound. Now I know we're entering the days of the unannouncer, but it still has its place. If you're doing a game show announcement, or maybe there's a podcast that wants that sound. So, what I'm doing right here is I'm squeezing on my throat and I'm creating this announcer sound. So I'm constricting my throat and I'm allowing a lot of air to flow in through my nose as well. So I'm breathing in and then I'm squeezing down here, kind of like in the back of my throat. And I'm creating this announcer sound. And when you hit the words, you can kind of squeeze on them just a touch. So, get ready for the #1 game show of the fall. It's a wacky, zany show with non-stop surprises. So it's a very tight mouth, a very tight throat. And the reed itself, you can tell, sounds tight. And this is a much looser sound. You could use it on a podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast, it's the #1 podcast in the world. You're tuned in. That sort of thing. Or if you wanted to put a little bite, you can combine that reed with a little bit of bite, and you can do maybe a sporting event, a boxing match or something. Thursday night is fight night. So you're still squeezing, but now I'm adding a little bit more jowl in there. Thursday night is fight night. You can see I'm adding more teeth. Coming up next on UFC, I'm still pushing with the same amount, but instead of bringing it up into my nose, I'm sinking the pressure down into my mouth a little bit more. So, Thursday night is fight night. Same muscle as get ready for the #1 game show of the fall. So it's very similar. It's just where I move my mouth and how I fold my tongue. If you put a little prestige in it and soften it and don't squeeze quite as hard, it would be presenting the award for Best Actor, Mr. Bradley Cooper. So it has that level of prestige now that I'm softening it up and making it not so used car, not so car, used automotive. But if you wanted to, and you wanted to make it super hyper, then you could do like a used car sale. The all-new Kia Forte on sale now, that sort of thing. That would just be you taking it to the maximum squeeze and pressure you can do on your vocal cords. You can kind of squeeze the back of your throat muscles and create this kind of sound. And if you just loosen it and keep it nice and loose, then you're going to have a much deeper sound. Then if you were to go like this, because when you start pushing and trying to speak louder, you can feel it starting to squeeze.